Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It's me again, it's me Desiree, and today I want to show you all the books I bought at the thrift store. This isn't even all of them, this is just the ones I bought that I want to talk about in this video. But I've been thrifting books like nobody's business. The thrift store hates to see me coming, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, that's all I think about when I get off of work. I'm like, where can I stop? I have to get some more books. Anyway, so these are some of the books I bought recently. I bought 10 of them, honestly, because that's all I could carry. I went to Savers and they were doing like a buy 3 get 1 free thing. So I didn't realize that till I got to the register though. So I had 10 books and there was like 2 more I really wanted and I couldn't stop thinking about them. So I went back the next day to see if they were there and one of them was gone. I was so sad about life. I should have just bought it, but I couldn't physically carry it. So I'm going to show you everything else I bought, including the 2 books, or the few that I went back for. I got Allison Galen, If I Die Tonight. Oh, this one just sounded good and it looked good. It says by the time you read this, I'll be dead. And I mean, who could not resist a title like that? And then the way this book just felt in my hand, it's got like a soft matte cover. I was like, oh yes, I need this. And I did read like the little blurbs on here about the books. I didn't look them up or anything because I felt like if I looked them up and I saw a bad review, it might have kept me from buying it when I initially did really want it. I don't want to be talked out of buying something, you know what I mean? So I don't know, this one just sounded good, and again, it felt good in my hand. So it says, late one night in the quiet Hudson Valley town of Havenkill, a distraught woman stumbles into the police station after carjacking, and lives are changed forever. As Liam's life hangs in the balance after being struck at the scene, the events of that fateful night begin to come into focus, but is everything as it seems? The case quickly consumes social media, transforming Liam, a local high school football star, into a folk hero and the suspect, a high school outcast named Wade, into a depraved would-be killer. But is Wade really guilty? If he isn't, why won't he talk? I don't know, it just sounded really good and I liked the cover. I don't know, it just seemed good to me, and it was in really, really great shape. So of course, if the book looked like it was brand new, whether I heard of it or not, which of course most of these I had never heard of, I was enticed to buy it because it just looks brand new. And all of these books were like $3, some of them $2.98, around that price right there. So yeah, really great. I thought, good deal for that. I feel like I'm too far away. And then I got a book I had heard of from John Green. This is Looking for Alaska. They had a few different copies of it there. They had a hard copy, they had one that was like jacked up, and then I found this one. This one looked pretty good. It is kind of worn on the sides and everything, but this is what it looks like here. The only John Green book I have is The Fault in Our Stars, and I haven't even finished reading it because I love the movie so much. And I know the book's going to be a little bit different from the movie, probably similar, but you know how books and movies always are a little bit different. And I started reading it, and just for some reason I can't get into it the way I got into the movie. But I did want to buy this because I really like John Green and I just want to one day own all of his books. I don't know. So this is the one I picked up, and I don't know what it's about at all. So let's see. Miles Halter's whole existence has been one big non-event, and his obsession with famous last words has only made him crave the great perhaps even more. He heads off to the sometimes crazy, possibly unstable, and anything but boring world of Culver Creek boarding school, and his life becomes the opposite of safe, because down the hall is Alaska Young, the gorgeous, clever, funny, sexy, self-destructive, screwed up, and utterly fascinating Alaska Young, who is an event unto herself. She pulls Pudge into her world, launches him into the great perhaps, and steals his heart. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I didn't read that when I bought it, I just kind of wanted it. So that sounds good, I like that. This is another one, of course, I had never heard of, which is the case with most of these, again. It says National Book Award finalist, and I was drawn to this because it reminded me ever so slightly of the cover of The Silence of the Lambs, you know, where she has that moth around her, like her mouth. I don't know why, it just kind of looked like it, so I thought it'd be a scary book. It's called Speak, and it's by Laurie Halse Anderson. And it's about some kids in high school, I think, and it seemed interesting to me. I like reading books about kids in high school or stories about high schoolers. Let's see. Melinda's freshman year is off to a horrible start. She busted an end of summer party by calling the cops, and now her friends and even strangers all hate her. Months pass and things aren't getting any better. She's a pariah, the lowest of the low, avoided by everyone. But eventually she'll reveal what happened at the party, and when she finally speaks the truth, everything will change. I don't know, sounded good. Sounded good to me, had to get it. Okay. And then I got this one from Sally Rooney, and it's called Beautiful World, Where Are You? This book was just in the most pristine condition. It's a hardcover, and I have learned I'm not a hardcover gal. I kind of like a floppy book like that. I don't know. But this one was in really great shape, and I heard of Sally Rooney only from the internet. I feel like people either really like her or really don't like her. I haven't read anything, so I thought this was a good book to get. And again, it was like $2 or $3, and it was in really good shape. And I don't know, just wanted to get it, okay? Let's see what it's about. Alice, a novelist, meets Felix, who works in a warehouse, and asks him if he'd like to travel to Rome with her. In Dublin, her best friend Eileen is getting over a breakup and slips back into flirting with Simon, a man she'd known since childhood. Alice, Felix, Eileen, and Simon are still young, but life is catching up with them. They desire each other, they delude each other, they get together, they break apart. They have sex, they worry about sex, they worry about their friendships and the world they live in. Are they standing in the last lighted room before the darkness and bearing witness to something? Will they find a way to believe in a beautiful world? I don't know. Okay, now I'm like, I don't know about this book, but I'm gonna read it anyway. It doesn't seem that long. Let's see what Sally Rooney looks like. She kind of looks like, what's her name? Before I show you the picture, let me think of her name. She did The Virgin Suicides. She's that director. I can't think of her name right now, but that's her. Kind of looks like her. She's an Irish novelist. She looks too serious. She looks too serious in her gray shirt and her black pants. But I'll read it, but I don't know if the characters better make me like them. I'll tell you that much. Okay, this is another one I got called An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. This one, again, it just kind of jumped out at me. I really like the cover. I like the way it feels in my hand, okay? And those things are important. I gotta feel like this belongs in my hand and not like I'm reading a textbook of some sort. So what caught my attention with this one, other than the quality of the product, it was in really good shape. It was a New York Times bestseller, Oprah's Book Club from 2018, 100 Notable Books of 2018, and I didn't read anything about it or to even see what it was about. I just kind of, I don't know, I just liked the title and the cover and everything, and it just kind of jumped out at me, and I thought I would like to try it and try to read it. Let me read a little bit about the back. A captivating love story that's also a clear-eyed look at the effects of injustice in contemporary American life. Tayari's novel gorgeously chronicles three people who are bound together and separated by forces beyond their control. As newlyweds, Celestial and Roy are living the American dream. He's a young executive and she's an artist on the brink of an exciting career. But after Roy's incarceration for a crime he did not commit, Celestial, bereft and unmoored, turns to childhood friend and Roy's best man, Andre, for support. Oh. As Roy's absence drags on, Celestial faces soul-wrenching decisions about balancing loyalty with independence, desire with social and familial expectations, and what is right and what is fair and to whom. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna really like this. I'm so glad I picked this one up. Yes, I'm gonna love it. Okay, another one I never heard of called Every Last Word. And this one also kind of reminded me of that other book called Speak. I don't know why, because I think it's another like high school kids book, but again, it was just in really good shape and it just kind of like looked interesting to me. There was a sticker here on the front that I peeled off, and then I tried to clean it with the magic eraser and it kind of just looks worse. But anyway, the rest of the book's in really, really good shape. And it has like a nice texture to it, you know? Okay, let's see what it's about. Who's it by again? Tamara Ireland Stone, and it's called Every Last Word. Samantha McAllister looks just like the rest of the popular girls in her junior class. Again, another high school book. But hidden beneath the straightened hair and the expertly applied makeup is a secret that her friends would never understand. She has purely obsessional OCD and is consumed by a stream of dark thoughts that worries that she can't turn off. Second-guessing every move, thought, and word makes daily life a struggle, and it doesn't help that her lifelong friends will turn toxic at the first sign of a wrong outfit, wrong lunch, or wrong crush. Okay, then it's I'm not going to read the whole thing. That sounds really interesting to me, and it doesn't look like it's that long. How long is it? Oh, I don't even want to look. I feel like I might see a spoiler. But anyway, another high school book. I think that sounds really good. And then I found this one. I know this is a popular book. It's called, this is one that I had heard of. It's called A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And this book is in perfect shape. It jumped out at me just based on what it looked like. I love these colors together. I love this cover. It's got that soft matte texture and it just feels good in your hand. And I know about this book because of one of my friends here on YouTube and in real life, Bridget from Purposeful Pursuits. She sent me a picture of, no, she told me she was reading this book or something, and I had never heard of it because at that time I didn't know anything about books and I wasn't into them. But now that I saw this there, I thought of her right away, so I grabbed it right away and I was like, wow, this is in perfect condition as well. And it was like $3. I have no idea what it's about, and I texted her the other day and said, look what I bought. I thought of you when I bought this. I still haven't read it, obviously. But let's read what it's about because I am not even sure. I just knew it. I just bought it because I knew it was popular and I don't know, I just wanted it and it was in good shape. Let's see. When 19-year-old huntress Fire kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows only from legends, Fire, or Fayer, I don't know, discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled her world. At least he's not a beast all the time. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So it's a fantasy book, I'm guessing. Yeah, sounds interesting. I will give it a read eventually. Okay, and then Percy Jackson. I have no idea what Percy Jackson is about. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. This is the first book called The Lightning Thief. I have no clue what it's about. I've never seen any of the movies, anything like that. So I feel like I'll like it though. I feel like I'll like it. And you know, I don't know, it just jumped out at me and it was in decent shape as well. Let's see what it's about. Percy Jackson is about to be kicked out of boarding school again. And that's the least of his troubles. Lately, mythological monsters and the gods of Mount Olympus seem to be walking straight out of the pages of Percy's Greek mythology textbook and into his life. And worse, he's angered a few of them. Zeus's master lightning bolt has been stolen and Percy is the prime suspect? Sounds good. It sounds good. It seems like in up a Harry Potter type of street, and I like the Harry Potter books, so I feel like I'm gonna like this. But they only had this one book there, so I'm hoping if I really like that, I could find the other books in the series. Okay, and then I got The Martian by Andy Weir. This was, again, just one that was in really good shape, and I have heard of this one because I've seen the movie, and I honestly don't remember the movie that well. I remember that I liked it in the moment. Haven't seen it since. It wasn't a movie I wanted to rewatch like on a rainy day or something. But I thought the book would be interesting, and again, it was just in really good shape and I just wanted it, okay? Let's see what it's about. A mission to Mars, a freak accident, and one man's struggle to survive. 6 days ago, astronaut Mark Watney became one of the first people to walk on Mars. Now he's sure he'll be the first person to die there. After a dust storm forces his crew to evacuate the planet while thinking him dead, Mark finds himself stranded on Mars's surface with no way to signal Earth that he's alive. And even if he could get word out, his supplies would be gone years before a rescue could arrive. Oh my gosh, I really like the premise of this. I have got to read this. You know what? This sounds like the book I want to read next. I'm currently reading Open Water, and I'm reading The Unsinkable Greta James. I'm reading that one too. I didn't think I'd be the person to read two books at the same time, but Open Water, it doesn't seem like a book I'm going to be able to read that quickly because the way the sentences are like put together, it's something I have to read slowly to really like absorb it, and it's taking me a while because it's really nicely written and I want to like absorb it and not rush through it. Anyway, I want to read this next. I like that idea. Okay, and then the last book out of the 10 I initially bought is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This one just looked cool. Like the cover looked cool. They had a paperback copy as well, but it was a little bit beat up, so I went for this one. It was the same price. I think it was $2.98 or $2.99, like $3, you know. And it had a little blurb from John Green on here, so I thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. I don't know what the heck it's about. I just really liked this cover a lot. I just thought it was really cool. But let's see what it's about. On a bitter cold day in the December of his junior year at Harvard, Sam exits a subway car and sees amid the hordes of people waiting for the platform, Sadie Green. He calls her name. For a moment, she pretends she hasn't heard him. But then she turns and a game begins. A legendary collaboration that will launch them to stardom. These friends, intimates since childhood, borrow money, beg favors, and before even graduating college, they've created their first blockbuster. Chico? Overnight, the world is theirs. Not even 25 years old, Sam and Sadie are brilliant, successful, and rich, but these qualities won't protect them from their own creative ambitions or the betrayals of their hearts. Spanning 35 years. This sounds cool. So when they created a blockbuster, is it like a movie, I'm guessing, or a TV show or something? I don't know, but it looks really cool and it sounds good. I like that idea. So those were the 10 I initially bought, but there were 2 books I could not get out of my head. I kept thinking about them all night and I was like, I should just drive over there and go get those 2 books. I could not get them out of my head, but I could not remember the names of them. I just remember where they were at on the shelves and what the covers looked like. I went back the next day after work. One of them was gone. I looked at every single book. Went, okay, this. Like I wasn't just glancing quickly. I looked at every book and I couldn't remember the name of it, but I remembered it eventually. It was called The Last Dinner Guest or something. Hold on, I Googled it because I had just typed in The Last Guest and then a few different things came up and then I eventually realized that that's what it was. Okay, it's called The Last House Guest. It's called The Last House Guest, and it's by Megan Miranda. And the cover just looked really good. The cover looked really good, and it felt really good in my hands. Okay, it felt really good. It had a lot of texture to it. It had like raindrops on the cover, and I just really, really wanted it so bad, but I didn't get it because I couldn't carry it, and it wasn't there when I went back. But I put it on my eBay, like books I would love to buy, but I kind of want to find it in person. Anyway, I didn't find that one, but the other one that I couldn't get out of my head was this one. I don't know why this one could not leave my brain. It's by Heather Chavez, and it says, Before She Finds Me. And there was just something about this picture and this lady smoking. I could not get this out of my brain, and I thought I would die if I didn't own it for some reason. So I went back and got it. It was $3.99. It was in really good shape, and it's a hardcover. The story didn't like captivate me or something, but for some reason I just felt like I had to have this. I had to have it. But let me tell you what it's about. Let's see. Julia Bennett has worked hard to create a stable life for her daughter Cora in Southern California. So when Cora leaves for college, the worst thing Julia expects on move-in day is an argument with her ex-husband and his new wife Bree. But a sudden attack leaves the campus stunned, and only Julia's quick actions save Cora's life. Shaken in the aftermath, Julia starts to wonder, was the attack as random as everyone believes? And then I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it sounded okay to me, but I don't know what it was about this. I had to have it. And then when I was there, of course, I browsed around a little bit. And I got another John Green book. I got Paper Towns. And this one was also $3.99. And look how young he looks right here. I don't know if any of you guys watch Vlog Brothers on YouTube, where him and his brother do YouTube videos, but he doesn't look like that anymore. But you can still tell that it's him, but you can also tell that this is a long time ago. I also have no clue what this book is about, but it was in perfect condition, and I just want to own all of his books for some reason. Let's see what it's about. Quentin Jacobson has spent a lifetime loving the magnificent Margot Roth Spiegelman from afar. So when she cracks open a window and climbs back into his life, summoning him from an ingenious campaign of revenge, he follows. Huh? When their all-nighter ends and a new day breaks, Margot has disappeared, but Q soon learns that there are clues, and they're for him. Embarking on an exhilarating adventure to find her, the closer Q gets, the less he sees the girl he thought he knew. Interesting. I don't know. Sounds good. I'll read it. And then this is one I went back and forth about getting, The Girl on the Train. I remember this. This is one I had heard of. And I remember when it came out, it was like really popular and everybody really wanted it or was talking about it and stuff. I don't know what the heck it's about, but it was in great shape. It was $3.99. It was a hardcover. And I thought I was going to buy 3 get 1 free at the register again, and I didn't. So I bought it because I thought I would get 1 for free. But I have it now, and I'll definitely read it. Let's see what it's about. Every day the same. Okay. Rachel takes the same commuter train every morning and night. Every day she rattles down the track, flashes past a stretch of cozy suburban homes, and stops at the signal that allows her to daily watch the same couple breakfasting on their deck. She looks forward to it. She even starts to feel like she knows them. Jess and Jason, she calls them. Their life, as she sees it, is perfect, not unlike the life she recently lost. And then she sees something shocking. It's only a minute until the train moves on, but it's enough. Now everything's changed. Unable to keep it to herself, Rachel goes to the police. But is she really as unreliable as they say? Soon, she's deeply entangled not only in the investigation, but in the lives of everyone involved. Has she done more harm than good? Interesting. And you know what? I feel like this came out around the same time Gone Girl came out or something. And I feel like that was a comparison. Am I remembering something that didn't happen? I feel like that happened when this came out for some reason. It sounds good. Sounds good. I'll read it. Okay, and then the last book I got was this. This is another one that was calling to me the day before when I was there. And I had to get it again. It felt good in my hand. I loved the color of it. It's called We Could Be So Good, and it's by Kat Sebastian. Oh, I didn't say Girl on the Train was by Paula Hawkins. I didn't say that. And this one is a romance book, and I don't know if I'm like gonna be a romance gal because I feel like you could predict the book. Like, if anyone reviews a book and they call it enemies to lovers, I'm like, I don't even want to read it because I know they're gonna get together in the end, and I don't want to know anything about the relationship that much, you know. But I don't know, it just called to me and it just sounded cool. It just sounded like I don't know, like I just wanted to read it. Okay. Let's see. Nick has worked his way from a rough Brooklyn neighborhood to a reporting job at one of the city's biggest newspapers. But the late 1950s are a hostile time for gay men, and Nick knows that he can't let anyone into his life. He just never counted on meeting someone as impossible to say no to as Andy. Andy's newspaper tycoon father wants him to take over the family business. Andy, though, has no intention of running the paper. He's barely able to run his life. He's never paid a bill on time, routinely gets lost on the way to work, and would rather gouge his own eyes out than deal with office politics. Andy agrees to work for a year in the newsroom, knowing he'll make an ass of himself and hate every second of it. Except that Nick keeps rescuing Andy, showing him the ropes, tracking down his keys, freeing his tie when he gets stuck in the ancient filing cabinets. Their unlikely friendship soon sharpens into feelings they can't deny. But what feels possible in secret, this fragile, tender thing between them, seems doomed in the day of light. Now Nick and Andy have to decide if, for the first time, they're willing to fight. I went back and forth on it because, again, I was like, they're going to end up together at the end. So, spoiler alert, you know? But I just stood there like reading a couple of passages and I liked it. So I got it and I think I'm going to like it. And that is that. That is a story of all the books I bought at the thrift store. If you want to see more books I bought, let me know, because I've been going to the Goodwill. I went to the Dollar Tree and I found 2 books. One of them I'm currently reading, and you know what? It's pretty good. I got teary-eyed this morning with that book. But anyway, let me know if you've read any of these books, what you think of them, what are your favorite thrift stores to shop at, because so far, Savers, I think, has been the best one. They've had the best amount of books, the best selection, and in the best like shape. The quality of the books is really, really good. But anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you hopefully soon in another video. Goodbye.